I have a file that comes out of time clock, but as you can see, it has a lot of issues that are not going to allow us to create a pivot table. So we're going to clean it. I will select these 6 rows because I don't need them, and click Control minus. Select a filter. Control Shift End. From A1, Control Shift N, select everything, Control Shift L. I noticed something when I was clicking here, and that's another issue. When I click here, I see that the cells are combined. That is going to give problems. So click on everything or Control Shift Space 2 times. Select Merge and Center on Merge. And then, with everything selected, go to Cell Styles and select Normal. Much better. Alright. I was telling you, I click on Department, and when I click Control Down, it stops in between the cells. That's because somebody typed something in there. So Control Home, and then we're going to use Alt Down. Alt Down arrow shows a list of options. Down, I get there. Space, in order to unselect all. N, space, and I'm going to select blanks. Now select the whole column. Control space, delete. That's it. We cleaned all the blank cells that were not really blanks for Excel. Let's give it a try. Clear. Control down, Control down, Control down. Okay. Now I'm going to fill down all the departments. So Control N, Home, Control Shift Home, F5, Special, Blanks. Okay. Now, since I'm on A1 here, I'm not going to be able to do Shift Up. So I'm going to hit Enter. And in there, I'm going to say equals, up arrow, Control Enter. I'm going to get a lot of references in the first 4 cells. That is because it cannot go to A0. So we get the reference error. Doesn't matter because we're going to delete those cells anyway. If I had something in there, such as department, it would have said department. So no problem. I'm going to select A, Control C, Control Alt V, V as in view, and in there Alt V again, values, enter. Okay, double click on this cell. In here, I click here, Control Space, Control Shift 3, Control Home, move left. I'm going to go here at Employee, Alt down, and again, space on select, end, space on blanks, enter. Control Home, down, Control Shift end, Shift space, Control minus, Control Shift L, Control Home. I don't want to see department in all of those cells. So from A2, Control Shift down, data, text to columns, is going to be delimited, next, by a column, there, next, very important, click do not import, we don't want the department, finish. We're almost done, what are we missing? This, the employee, it repeats the title. So we don't want to have titles in here. Control Shift L again. And in here, another issue. I have white columns. You see? That's why Control Shift L doesn't reach to employee. So Control Shift L again. I'm going to delete these columns. Hit Control Shift space twice. Double click between 2 columns. I'm going to make them big and then double click more easily. Control space, Control minus, Shift right, Control space, Control minus, right, Control space, Control minus, right, control space, control minus, right, shift right, control space, control minus, right, control space, control minus, right, control space, control minus, right, shift right, control space, control minus, 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 and that's it. Now, since there are no empty columns and no empty rows, I can just click Control Shift L, move to employee, add down, go down, I can type in here, and it says it only has employee that matches the EMPL spelling, enter, down, Control Shift down, Shift space, Control minus, Control Shift L, and I think now our data is, yeah, look good. Control Home, let me go all the way down. Control Home, we're just going to create a pivot table. Insert, pivot table, okay. What do we need here? I need the department, the name. I want to know the issue here. I have a list of issues. And the issue here again, so that I can see how many people have no issues. And then justify absence, unjustified absence, vacation, permission, sick day, suspension, incapacitated appears. If I don't want to see the people who have no issues, I click here, remove the white, okay, and that's it. Well, I could create a chart. Click anywhere on the pivot table, insert, here, here, to crowd. Right click, change chart type, and stack them. Okay, still don't like it. Right click, change chart type, stack them like this. Okay, the department is messing it up, so I'm going to remove the department. Then right click here, sort, smallest to largest, and there you go. From the person who has more issues to the one that has the least, but at least one.